For truckers who would travel between, say, Winnipeg and Calgary, there's a real snarl up along Victoria Avenue, east end of Regina, particularly as you're trying to make a left turn underneath the ring road. And if I was a truck driver in those days, I'd be saying, why do I have to get balled up in this particular roadway? And so the bypass really was, I think, intended to serve truck traffic and perhaps interprovincial traffic or people that didn't want to stop in Regina. And so it went outside the city limits at that point. One of the things that is inconsistent is the way crossing the bypass works. In some places, you can't get across. For example, when you go to Fleet Street, there's a right in and right out, and you can't go straight across. And I know there's ratepayers that are to the south of the bypass there, and so it's really awkward for them to use the bypass in order to get to their homes, or even into Bratz Lake, which is south of the Arm of Sherwood. On the other side, on the west side, an equal distance pretty much from Highway 6 to Highway 1 on the west side, where there's all those interchanges. You've got a straight across, a stop sign, and you can go across on Courtney Street. You can't do that at Fleet Street. And the distances in both of those segments are fairly similar, and it sort of begs the question, why? Why wouldn't they let Fleet Street be a stop and a go when they allow it at Courtney Street? What influenced that kind of decision-making to be inconsistent? I think generally residents in the southern part of the RM who were most affected felt that the bypass in the southeast side of the bypass should have gone out further to the east, in a sense to mirror what happened out on the west side, because on the west side it went all the way out close to the GTH, so there was large tracts of land that were undeveloped already, and so there's some spacing from the city. On the contrary, on the east side, it came in very close to the city. And it should have gone perhaps out to Belgoni, or perhaps even not that far out to what is known as Gravel Pit Road, in order to mirror what the west end of the bypass joining into the Trans-Canada there, as well as on the east side. That didn't happen. As a result, there was some development that certainly hurt some of the ratepayers. They got bowled over. I know, for instance, Nestor Maraglot's business. There's also Bruce Bolingbroke's place, and these folks just felt, and others. I mean, I'm not going to go through all the litany of names, but these folks just felt that they were simply collateral damage in a big project. The other interesting about that, though, is that where it came in, close to the city, did benefit certain ratepayers. And typically these were people who had lots of money. I don't know if it's because the planners for the bypass thought, if we don't listen to them, or if we challenge them, they've got deep pockets so that they could defend themselves in court. Whereas some of the little people, they felt that there's no way they could defend themselves against what the government was trying to do through this bypass routing. We do know of certain individuals and companies who were landholders that were able to accrue a significant amount of money selling to the government. On the loser side, though, there are others who, in my opinion, were not given the same benefit. And then, of course, for the landowner, the ratepayer in the Arm of Sherwood, when you're going up against a big government who has an endless amount of resources in terms of expropriation, and things are always on their side to benefit them, then it's hard to stand up against something that you feel isn't fair to you as as a landowner. And so I think that's unfortunate. As a ratepayer and a representative of the municipal government for the RMA Sherwood, I was hearing from ratepayers the challenges that they were facing. And so one of my jobs as a municipal leader is to represent. I mean, that's in essence what representative government is, right? Is that you're elected to represent your constituents. And so we put our ideas forward to the government planners, I guess, contracted people and people within the ministries of highways and infrastructure, and tried to persuade them to be fair to all. We simply felt we were not heard.